The steel gates of Naval Air Station Coronado stood like an iron wall gleaming under the California sun. The scent of jet fuel mixed with the salt of the Pacific breeze, a smell every aviator carried in their lungs. Outside those gates stood a woman who looked both out of place and completely at home. Her flight jacket was faded, its patches sewn and resewn until the fabric seemed older than the concrete beneath her boots. The leather was cracked, her boots dusted with scars of deployment. She didn't flinch when the armed guards stepped forward to block her path. Her eyes, gray, cold, and sharp as storm clouds, held stories they would never understand. "Ma'am," one of the younger guards said, lifting a gloved hand. "Base access requires clearance. Yours expired 6 years ago." The woman didn't argue. She didn't explain. Her lips tightened as she adjusted the strap of the duffel on her shoulder. She turned to leave, until a commanding voice cut through the air. "Stand down, petty officer." The guard stiffened as a tall man approached, medals flashing across his chest, his stride heavy with authority. Rear Admiral Charles J. Mallory. Every step he took carried weight. "You've got nerve showing up here," he said, his tone sharp enough to cut steel. "Not here to cause trouble, Admiral," she replied calmly. Her voice was low and steady, the kind that could silence chaos. "Just wanted to see the memorial. Then I'll be gone." "Not anymore. You won't," he said coldly. "Whatever you were before, whoever you were, you're not part of this command. Not part of this Navy. Not part of this base. Go home." Something flickered in her eyes. Pain, maybe, but she didn't let it stay. "Yes, sir." The Admiral nodded once. "Escort her off base property. Permanently." The steel gates clanged shut behind her, echoing like a verdict. She stood still for a moment, duffel slipping from her shoulder, then turned and walked away. If there had been a camera, it would have stayed on her face, the calm mask hiding something far more dangerous. A name buried in radio waves and whispered in mess halls. A name etched into the memories of men who had lived because of her. Her call sign, Valkyrie. She thought it was buried, left behind in the skies over Kandahar, over Mosul, over black, endless seas. But the world has a cruel way of calling legends back. 10 minutes later, alarms wailed across the base. Sirens screamed. Red lights flashed over the tarmac. Unidentified aircraft approaching from West Vector. Possible hostile. All squadrons, scramble. The Admiral barked orders as jets roared to life, but for just a heartbeat, his eyes flicked toward the road beyond the gates. Toward the figure walking away. Because deep down, even Mallory couldn't forget. He had once heard her voice cut through battlefield chaos, calm as stone. She had led men through fire and brought them home. He told himself she was gone. But the world was about to remind him otherwise. Down the road, the blare of sirens faded into the ocean wind. Then, static. A radio left on the seat of a parked jeep crackled to life. "Command, this is Eagle 2. I've got lock-on warnings, multiple bogeys. I need backup. Repeat, I need backup." Her steps froze. Her heart hammered. That voice, the panic of a rookie facing death in the sky. She had heard it too many times. And once, she had sworn no voice would ever go unanswered under her watch. Her hand moved before her mind did. She grabbed the mic. "Eagle 2, she said, her voice slicing through the static, steady and cold as steel. "This is Valkyrie. Break left, 60 degrees. Now." The base fell silent. Every open radio channel froze. Every pilot, every officer wearing a headset heard the same thing. Valkyrie. The name hadn't echoed over comms in nearly a decade. Yet there it was, cutting through the air like thunder. "Copy that, Valkyrie," the young pilot stammered. He obeyed, his jet banking hard just in time as a missile screamed past his tail. Inside the command tower, Admiral Mallory went pale. "Run the transmission again," he ordered, but he didn't need to. Across the base, men who had once fought under her wing knew the voice instantly. On the tarmac, a squad of Navy SEALs froze mid-step. "Did he say Valkyrie?" one whispered. The oldest among them dropped his helmet, eyes wet with disbelief. "She's alive." One by one, every SEAL straightened. Some saluted the empty air. Others bowed their heads. When the Admiral stormed onto the runway, he saw a full line of hardened warriors standing at attention. Not for him, but for the unseen woman whose voice had returned from the dead. Eagle 2, Valkyrie's voice cut through again. Stay on my mark. Enemy formation will split in 30 seconds. Don't chase. Let them come to you. Trust me. The SEALs murmured among themselves, reverent. That's her. No one flies like Valkyrie. She saved my unit in Fallujah. Mallory's authority trembled under the weight of the legend he thought he'd buried. Hostile aircraft breached our perimeter, came a panicked voice. Recommend immediate response. Admiral, you're out of time. He clenched his jaw, knowing the truth. Get her a bird, he ordered. Crews sprinted across the tarmac, unlocking a hangar long sealed. Inside sat an F-22 Raptor, her old jet, still marked with the emblem of Valkyrie's wings. She was already there, walking toward it, calm and silent. Helmet under her arm. Nobody called her, she just knew. The canopy hissed open. She climbed in. Her hands moved over the controls with the ease of a pianist finding a forgotten song. Systems lit up one by one, answering her touch. The Admiral stood at the edge of the runway, eyes burning with something close to awe. For the first time, he saluted. Engines roared. The Raptor thundered down the strip. Valkyrie took to the sky. What followed wasn't a dogfight. It was a storm. She carved through the enemy swarm like lightning, missiles streaking in perfect arcs. Every move was precise, poetic, lethal. Every shot saved a life. Valkyrie, bogey on your 6. I see him, she replied, voice calm. Not for long. She inverted, dove, and fired, turning the enemy jet into a fireball. Beside her, Eagle 2 steadied, matching her movements, fighting with new confidence. On your wing, he called. Let's finish this, she said. Together, they tore through the sky until the last drone fell in flames. Silence returned. Base command, her voice came through once more, soft but unshaken. Airspace secure. On the ground, the SEALs didn't cheer. They simply stood tall, saluting the open sky. The Admiral's throat tightened as her jet landed and rolled to a stop. She climbed down, helmet tucked under her arm, sunlight catching the edges of her hair. For a moment, no one spoke. Then, slowly, the Admiral raised his hand, not as a superior officer, but as a man honoring a legend. She returned the gesture with a single nod. No glory, no thanks, just duty, fulfilled. The SEALs whispered her name one last time. Valkyrie. And with that, the legend walked away once more. If you felt the power of Valkyrie's story, her courage, her silence, her unbreakable spirit, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Because legends never die.